Joined by South Shore Press Sports Director Tom Barton. Tom, let's talk March Madness, NCAA basketball. Now, you are a nationally known and highly respected sports betting expert. So can you just take us through how truly maddening this time of the year is for you when it comes to sports betting?
It's absolutely crazy. And the madness doesn't start when you're filling out your brackets, which a lot of people do believe. And I just had that conversation this week. And no, the madness started 2 weeks ago when the conference tournaments began. And it's night after night and back to back. And every game is all the time. We have the NIT tournament going on. We have the tournament going on. And there's no time in between. You see, in the NFL or in college football, you have about a week or so. In the Super Bowl, you have 2 weeks to prepare for the game. In college basketball, you usually have 2, 3, 4 days in between to prepare. The NHL, you have some back-to-back, same thing with the NBA, but generally speaking, you have time to prepare. There's no time at all to prepare. It's back-to-back. You better know your stuff. You better know your teams. So there's no sleeping for Tom in March.
So take us through what your days are like, because let's take the Super Bowl. You've got 2 weeks to prepare, different betting lines, the whole 9 yards. The NCAA March Madness, I mean, you literally have minutes, correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're even including what the day is going to look like, you look at those days, that first round, they're going for 12, 13, 14 hours, and then the turnaround is what, 10 hours later. Now, I'm a guy that when I handicap, I rely a lot upon what I watch during the year, but I like to go back and watch film and watch tape and watch how these two teams match up. Well, most of the time, the teams have never seen each other during the year. They haven't seen anything like each other during the year. And oh, by the way, where am I going to find time to watch tape? So you really have to know what you're doing as the tournament moves on.
How do you do it, though? So a client calls and says, hey, handicap or pick for me. What do you think's, going to happen between East T-shirt State and Lollapalooza? What do you do?
Drink the thinking. I mean, it's that simple. Remember the teams that you did well with. Remember the teams that you're very fresh with. I love the mid-majors, so I'm really good with that. And shrink your thinking. You're going to get overwhelmed. There's 15, 20 games. Oh, my goodness, what am I going to do? Pick 2 or 3. 2 or 3 that you're comfortable with. 2 or 3 that you know really well, and you go, okay, I'm going to go with this. Everybody loves an upset. Everybody loves to cheer for the same team. You can cheer for them. You can have fun with them. But the games that you want to make money on, make sure you're disciplined with. Have fun during the tournament, fill out a bracket, all of that. But if you want to make money, pick those 2 or 3 games a day and just concentrate on those as your money making and your money building opportunities.
So there's a lot of scumbags out there in the sports betting business. Not you, of course. Again, you really are like one of the most respected, highly respected sports bettors out there. But a lot of these scumbags will basically make money by taking half a client and say, oh, yeah, bet on that team. And then, oh, yeah, bet on the opposite team. And they make money either way. So isn't this for you a good lesson of like, hey, maybe a professional sports bettor, you're not going to make your money on the Super Bowl or March Madness or huge tournaments like this. It's really the grind throughout the year, correct?
Oh, absolutely. One of the famous lines that I used to say all the time is, and this will go even to the layman's that don't really know what we're talking about. Think about it like this, okay? The Super Bowl, you go walk into a casino with $5,000, $10,000, and they're going to take you without knowing it. They'll take your bet. A Tuesday in July between, let's just say, the Royals and White Sox, you're limited to $2,000 in most places, $2,500. Why? Because you can make just as much money on a Tuesday in July on a baseball game as you can during the Super Bowl. It's the bigger hype games, and there's going to be more mistakes. There's going to be more mistakes by the sports books, overlooked things that are going on during those games, as opposed to March Madness or the tournament, or if you're talking about the Super Bowl. They're not going to know that. Again, it's how the public perceives things. It doesn't mean, I hate the term, Vegas thinks they're going to win by 25 points. No, they don't. Vegas doesn't have an opinion or a pulse. They think you think that they're going to win by 25 or more points.
So at the end of the day, then, what are the next few weeks like for you? I mean, you're married, you got a family, you got a baby. What's it like?
Well, it's a high and by kind of thing for me, I'm around. I work from home primarily, so I get to see them when I can. Usually in the morning, games don't start until 12. My work is done in the morning, and then I have that 3-4 hour gap. So when the kids come home, you have to make time. You have to be able to make time. And again, if I'm only concentrating on 2 or 3 games a day, I'm focusing and I'm watching all of the games, but I'm casually watching them. At halftime, I'll roll around with the 1-year-old for a little while. I'll go and help out for the homework here or there. You have to find time. And I have a superstar for a wife that absolutely helps with everything and makes it all the much better.
Yeah, man, we both married up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Way out of our league, man. That's the one thing you and I have in common, brother. I love you to death, but yeah, we definitely married up in that respect. So when it comes to last question for you, Tom, so just betting in general, what's your advice? Because obviously the tournament goes for a few weeks. It's going to go for a while. What would you tell people who say, hey, you're a professional sports bettor. What should I be doing here?
Don't get caught on trends. We're in a new world, and this is serious. We are in a new world. It used to be bet all the 12s against the 5s. It always comes out. Bet the 4s against the 13s. The 13s against the 4s. And one of them's going to go down. And here are the rules. And everybody's going to number ones don't go through. And someone's going to look. No, 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 no. They're all gone because we are in a new NIL world. And in the new NIL world, anytime that these players are good at a mid-major, they're going to get poached and stolen by a big team. Last year, we had all favorites. I mean, it was a favorite-laden tournament, and people lost their minds and said, what happened? How did the favorites all win and cover and go to the end? Well, because we're in NIL world. Doesn't mean that there won't be some upsets. Of course, over this weekend, we're going to get great upsets. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fun tournament. But don't expect to see 1s and 2s going down. Don't expect the fervor and the trends that you're going to hear a million times over to continue because we're in a new world. NIL has changed everything.
I hate it. I mean, I was at Syracuse in the early 90s, and like that Big East conference was just amazing. You know, Boeheim, Thompson at G-Town, that rivalry. You just don't see that anymore. It's just, I can't stand it anymore. I prefer high school basketball to college basketball, but that's another story.
Look at
for
what
another
they
day.
did to the Big East this year. I think the Big East got shafted more than any other conference. Not only did they give the Big East winner in St. John's the 5 seed, which is a slap in the face, they also put UConn and St. John's in the same bracket. That just doesn't happen when you only have 3 teams in. By the way, should have had more than 3 teams in. So, yeah, the Big East is the Power Four are starting to push aside the Big East, and I hope they don't succeed.
I hear you loud and clear. All right, that is South Shore Press Sports Director Tom Barton. Tom, always good to spend time with you. Good to see you.
You're the only one that doesn't ask me for a free play. I love it.
Never. You're my friend. Never do that, brother. Good to see you.